Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. The podcast that came this close to having American character actor Brian Husky on as a guest. I mean, y'all really don't understand. He was a definite maybe at one point. Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as excoriation and Tokyo drift to sleep. So I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that,
Doctor,
I was about to introduce you, but
I just jumped the gun. I got so excited. We are getting closer than ever to launching the Jock streaming service. We've been talking about it for a while now. We're coming for you, Netflix. We're coming for you, Hulu. We're going to take you down because we are coming up with some of the greatest movies and TV shows. We've got all this IP. We've got all these contracts. And I went through a list a while ago of like a ton of them. But Dr. London and I have been working on the scripts for, a project I'm really, really excited for. It's movies and TV shows. Lately, there's been a lot of like how this product was originally made. Like there was BlackBerry. They just did the Nike Air movie. There's the Tetris movie. There's all these different things. And Dr. London and I were lucky enough to get the rights to Huge Coffees. Now, if you remember, when we were kids, a coffee was a cup of coffee. The idea of a cup of coffee being a big and it having a bunch of coffees in there would be unfathomable to my childhood brain. But what we're kind of getting into the meat to, because you don't even think who came up with this. It's like the Flamin' Hot Cheetos show or whatever. It's sort of like that, but it's who came up with Huge Coffees? And Dr. London, we actually have some of the scripts right here. Can we just read it real quick, just to give people a taste of what our Huge Coffee show is going to be like?
yeah, am I going to read as the coffee cup?
Yeah, do you want to be either the person who invented Huge Coffees, the coffee itself, the mean executive who says it's impossible, the scientist who says it's impossible, it can't be done, and then also maybe someone's dad.
Okay, I do feel like you're giving away quite a bit of the scene. Let's just start, and yeah, we'll pick a role as we come up, and hopefully we won't trip over each other's lines.
Okay.
Well, this can't be done. You're crazy. You can't make a coffee bigger than a coffee.
It's just you don't have any bravery, science man. A cup of coffee could be 7 cups of coffee. It could be huge. You should be able to walk in a Dunkin' and get 200 ounces of coffee. You can't stop the American dream.
You can't stop it because I'm already a big cup of coffee. Wah!
No, coffee, you're not a big cup. You're relatively big, but I'm talking about a bigger cup of coffee. Shut up. Stop interjecting. We're going to get a bigger and better version of you. You're too small for what we're looking for. I need a huge coffee.
But a decade ago, I was a big cup. I'm actually
No, I understand. But I am trying to revolutionize the system here and invent something new, and it's going to be a bigger coffee.
Because I'm a full thermos size. That's kind of a lot.
Now see here, Mr. Huge Coffee. I'm the executive. You can't. If we give people so much coffee, then they won't buy 2 coffees. We must shut this down. You'll never shut me down. I'm the other guy again. It's a different voice.
Oh, yeah, we need to shut him down because of the science of it.
Shut up, Mr. Science Man. You've got your tinctures and your vials and your experiments. You know what I have? Heart. And a dream of a huge coffee. Just a really big coffee.
That's bigger than me.
Yeah, you're going to be irrelevant, coffee, okay? You're done. Your time is over. You represent the past.
And scene.
Wow. What an exciting script.
people might, if anyone has criticisms for like maybe the way that went just now, just know the writers are on strike.
Yeah.
I assume still. So like we are kind of working with what we have.
Yeah, which is scabs. We're working with a bunch of scabs. They're not great, obviously. Okay, we're not getting union writers.
Like you know how the sort of idea is that it's just a bunch of monkeys typing away in a back room. Well, so when the monkeys do unionize, then we have to go for other animals, and that's kind of the issue we've run into. Is like most animals are not good at typing.
Most of them don't want anything to do with the typewriter at all. They'd rather go sit in the corner and sleep.
Yeah. Or just and eat stuff. Like, yeah. So, Karen, we have a sponsor today.
We have a pretty cool sponsor.
Caldera Lab.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Yeah. Because it's been on your face. So, first impressions matter. There are no two ways around it. What are people going to notice about you first when they meet you? Usually the skin on your face. That's a big... One of my major first impressions is usually the skin on my face. Clinically proven to reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging, Caldera Lab is the leader in men's skincare and is here to save the day. Use our exclusive code JOCKDOC at calderalab.com to enjoy 20% off their best products.
Dr. London, one of the reasons I'm so familiar with Caldera is not just because, yes, I've used the product on my skin, on my face, like you said, but I was so blown away by the quality of this product compared to the skin product that me and Cal, our sort of like pseudo mascot that we have right now, the lab rat.
Yeah. It's sorry for the listeners. It's an out-of-work lab rat because Caldera Lab doesn't test on animals. That's the background for this.
And essentially, me and him, we're just trying to like drum up some business, figure something out. And we had been making this like, what's the most organic thing in the world? Soup. Right? Because it's every ingredient in soup is from the ground. Potatoes, bacon, cheddar cheese, and then just water. All of that's from the ground. Yeah, soup. It's the most organic thing in the world. So thusly, if you think about the science of your pores, you would think, okay, soup on my face, that would do great things. But so far, it's mostly attracted ants because I'm making a huge mess.
So if your skincare goals are to attract a lot of rats and make a mess.
And now that I think about it, I think that maybe was my goal the whole time. I can't remember exactly, but I feel like that was my goal. So
Caldera Lab creates high-performance men's skincare products, and the regimen leads off their product lineup. It's a twice-a-day routine to transform your skin. So the skincare world is heavily female-driven and has been the wild, wild west for men. So men's skincare has never been easier now that we have Caldera Lab in the regimen.
Well, and also I am reminded of the time when it truly was the Wild West, just trying to deal with men's skincare. I would go to like a Sephora or something, ask like, hey, I'm a guy, like what do I do for skincare? Guns start coming out, cowboy hats start coming out, they start firing just because it was truly the Wild West and impossible to deal with.
Yeah, and you're sure it was Sephora, like...
Yeah.
Inside this bundle, the regimen, you'll find your skincare dream team. That's the clean slate, the base layer, and the good. So the clean slate starts and ends your day. This face wash leaves all skin types refreshed. The base layer is your daily moisturizer that hydrates your skin and absorbs it fast, leaving you with a matte finish so you can start your day confidently. And then the good is your go-to at night before bed, and a clinically proven multifunctional serum that helps your skin look tighter and smoother, as well as helps reduce the visibility of wrinkles and fine lines. So just quick. So has Cal the Rat been like intimately involved in that? Because like he won't return my calls anymore since he's become such a celebrity.
He's been swimming in the soup. Well, a bowl of soup for a rat. I mean that's a jacuzzi, Dr. London.
Caldera Lab also has this eye serum called the Icon. It addresses the 3 most common skin concerns around the eye, which is fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness. Caldera Lab is made with top-tier ingredients and is a great addition to your daily routine. It takes less than a minute, morning and night, and it's here to reduce your wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging. Get 20% off with our code JOCKDOC at calderalab.com. That's 20% off at calderalab.com by using code JOCKDOC. jump into skin and first impression royalty with Caldera Lab.
Buy a bunch of stuff today.
Anyway, that's our producer, Cameron. Also with us is Digital in the House.
Yeah, you're gonna be irrelevant. Okay, you're done. Your time is over. You represent the past. Yeah, you're gonna be irrelevant. Okay, you're done. Your time is over. You represent the past. Yeah, you're gonna be irrelevant. Okay, you're done. Your time is over. You represent the past. Yeah, you're gonna be irrelevant. Okay, you're done. Your time is over. You represent the past. Yeah, you're gonna be irrelevant. Okay, you're done. Your time is over. You represent the past. Yeah, you're gonna be irrelevant. Okay, you're done. Your time is over. You represent the past.
Later, Cameron tells you that we can expect a special guest. All right, but before we go on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. So for a long time, our listener demographic was primarily composed of fat cats. Just like very obese, obscenely obese cats. However, in our efforts to cater to them, we found that we were neglecting the many bot accounts that download our podcast. So this week's feedback comes from a comment on our YouTube snippet entitled The Moon Landing. Which has already gotten some attention, but this one is by user Corey, who said, "I wish they knew what they were talking about." So, which,
that's a really nice, wish, right? You're not even wishing for something for yourself. You're saying, I wish they knew what they were talking about. And
thank you.
We did and still do.
I guess you just reinforce the current reality, that wish.
Put your quarters back in your pocket. Don't need to throw any more in the wishing fountain, okay? We're good.
We got it, yeah. And for those who didn't listen to that episode, maybe, or didn't see that set, I would encourage you to go back and learn a little bit about the moon landing, because we really did kind of
break it wide open, yeah.
Yeah. And, a lot of people are confused about it and maybe don't read up on the whole backstory of what really happened.
Well, people don't do their research. People don't actually look things up.
Yeah, or look up and with a telescope or microscope or whatever at the sky. Because we tried that at least once for that episode.
I've done it. I did it Thursday. I did it Thursday night.
Wait, without me?
You were there, but not in the way you're thinking.
Well, I'm thinking that I wasn't there, so.
No, you were.
Okay. Well, anyway, so to Corey on YouTube, thank you for listening. Now for today's medical topic, Syringomyelia. Syringomyelia is a fluid-filled, dilated central canal in the spinal cord. So the term syringomyelia literally means bubble in the cord. This widening bubble or cavitation first damages neural fibers passing near the center of the spine. This syringomyelia can be congenital, meaning that patients are born with it, or it can be caused by a tumor or severe trauma to the spine. Clinically, patients with syringomyelia present with a loss of pain and temperature bilaterally, which is on both sides, across the upper back and both arms in a cape-like distribution. So you think of it like if the patient wore a cape, then the parts that the cape would cover would have a loss of pain and temperature.
And once you reach that point, I mean, you're really given one of two options, right? Are you going to live a life of crime as a villain with your newfound cape and powers, or are you going to do good,
Yeah, and most people who...
And, be a hero.
I'd say also there's the opportunity of, if you live in, the 1800s in Britain, then that'd be another path for you to wear, a cape. That was a time whenever people would do that, right?
Yeah, I wasn't saying there was only one way to get a cape. You can go on Amazon and buy a cape, Dr. London. But these people who are forced to have one, they are forced into a life. They're given an option. It's a red pill, blue pill situation.
It's a congenital, yeah.
Do you become a villain with your little cape? Maybe a little hat or something, like a skin hat, little skin top hat, or be a hero. And same situation, maybe a skin top hat, little cape.
So Syringomyelia also causes a loss of reflexes and muscle atrophy in the same cape-like distribution, which I would imagine a loss of reflexes would not be super helpful.
That sounds extremely helpful. You're not held down by the social construct of reflexes like everyone else is. You can use that to your advantage.
And muscle atrophy, which like less muscle.
You could, maybe for like slipping through stuff. Why are all our superheroes so buff? What happened to like really just kind of weak, scrawny superheroes?
The everyman, yeah.
So not the everyman, much weaker than the everyman.
Yeah. The most accurate test for Syringomyelia is an MRI. Treatment is surgical removal of the tumor if it's present, and then drainage of fluid from the cavity. But to all of you, I'd like to think that our listeners would. Yes, this is what I would like to think. I would like to think that all of our listeners would choose to be a hero.
I would hope so, and not choose the path of crime and evil unless that was more financially lucrative.
Which, if we're being on, like, once again, it's just not the what I want for them. But I would say like that's a far more lucrative. But like I just hope that is not what our listeners would do. Just be like out of a worry about ethics, basically. Yeah. But like they should just to keep going in life, because it's really to just live life normally right now is just too much.
Well, it's fun. It's like fun to be bad.
Hello there, my name is Dr. LondonSmith.com, and this is our producer Cameron. What was your name?
My name is Graham Gator, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Hey.
Thank you. Wow, that's so much more flattering than what we usually get.
Most guests right off the bat are very combative. They're very much like they're mad that they're here. So just to have that feels good.
Yeah, always excited to meet new people.
What brings you to the show?
Just felt like coming out my swamp area just to bother a few people,
Yeah, the dripping from. Do you mean to bring this much of the swamp with you? Because when you walked in, and I'm just seeing the trail now of the water.
Of just like slimy, swampy, humidity.
Is that on purpose?
Climate, yeah.
Yeah, just take a little stroll from the swamp,
Yeah. Okay.
Because people bother my territory, so I'm just returning the favor.
Could you tell us just about yourself? So, because you said you like to meet new people. Do you meet a lot of new people, given that you live in a swamp?
Sometimes, they're always coming on my territory, so, sometimes I just stroll through the neighborhood.
Well, okay. A neighborhood. I'm sorry. I should be perfectly clear. I've never lived in a swamp before, so what my mind generates as a picture of it is basically where Kermit the Frog lives. Like there's water. And so whenever we say neighborhood, I'm wondering what that, because I live in a cul-de-sac. When you say neighborhood,
he's trying to see what your world is like. Paint us a picture. What does your swamp look like?
So nothing but water and trees and mosquitoes flying around.
Okay, so I was right.
But of course, the human race are steady building homes and stuff on my neighborhood. So, taking over my space here,
Yeah, the human race. Okay.
So, I'm sorry. So whenever you say your neighborhood, which you see as just water and mosquitoes and whatever creatures may lay underneath, and you say that these people are taking over your neighborhood by building houses?
Yeah, it's like, we want our peace and quiet too,
Can we just be cards on the table here? Be honest with me. Are you a human being?
Half man, half reptile.
Yeah, okay. That's exactly what I was thinking.
So what was your parents' relationship like?
It was pretty good, actually.
Is there a lot of love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of love.
Was it a little...
Is that what you were asking, London?
Yeah, I did, like, I'm just curious as to whether the love was, like, one-sided at all. Like, I don't know. I would say where I'm from, which is in Texas, they don't teach about consent very well. And so I'm curious as to whether that also happens over there with,
Dr. London, you meet someone and within 5 seconds, you're asking if one of their parents, like, assaulted the other one?
I don't...
Could you have a little respect? Who's the alligator? Who's the person? Mom or dad?
Dad. It is the alligator. Mom is the person.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, okay. I mean, I'll admit, I know a lot more about human anatomy than I do gator anatomy. So, I guess I don't know how that would work to make you happen. So
I would like to hear, just because this is a medical show, like, surely there's like some sort of, you have different medical needs than maybe me or Dr. London does, right?
Sort of, kind of.
Like, you do have scales. I mean, I didn't want to say anything at first because I couldn't really tell the whole how much of a human. Thought it might be eczema, maybe some like really bad tattoos, and they were like healing over because you didn't put like lotion on it or whatever.
Only on the back.
Yeah, and like, I hate to be overly corporate sponsored or whatever, but like, we are actually sponsored by a skincare company currently, and I don't want to like. But like, you do seem a little bit dry. It seems like you do need to be in the water, and I just want to throw out the recommendation. Caldera Lab is a great product. They have great skincare.
Dr. London, within minutes of meeting a new person, you can't be volunteering to lotion them up. That's what you're about to ask. Like, hey, let me just put some of this on your scales and whatnot.
Well, from the species I come from, it's better not to get too close,
Okay, well, good to know. Okay, so like, I'll have it on a stick or something, I guess.
What is like your family situation? You gotta you seeing anyone? Do you date like crocodiles or humans, or what's the?
I would say both.
Okay.
And currently, are you? I mean, I want to pry, but is there a special someone?
Not at the moment, because I'm doing my pro wrestling stuff, so terrorizing people in the ring.
Oh, that's very interesting. Because yeah, if you were to say just by looking at you, what is the job you should have? Just given the alligator-ness of you, I would say yeah, a pro wrestling guy.
I just walked into a training center and got in the ring.
I did see some posters. Maybe it was you. Yeah, I was seeing posters for your matches. Have you been intimidated by any of your opponents? Because some of those other personas seem pretty scary too.
I mean, you can't be a gator and be afraid.
Yeah, wait, are there any other like hybrid animal people in the whatever wrestling league you're in?
I would say there's one hyena guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But other than that, no,
And he just laughed a lot. Like, that seemed to be his main thing, was laughing.
He should probably do like stand up or something.
But see, his thing is land, mine is the water, so.
Yeah.
Which
I have to imagine that most wrestling matches do take place on land, in my experience, which, great, and I don't have that much experience, so I could be wrong.
You haven't gotten inside yet, so you haven't actually seen what the ring is like. There might be a little pool.
Is there?
Well, you can always bring the fight to you.
That's no, just like you brought it into the studio. Okay.
Yeah, what is the future for Graham Gator? What is like? Are you wrestling forever? Is that the dream, or do you have a bigger goal?
Well, I want to keep my record undefeated, and then I'm gonna retire.
Okay. So does record of undefeated pay a good, I guess, pension?
Well, because I'm half Gator, I don't have to worry about that. There's plenty of water, so ain't got to pay no rent.
So you're just winning all these matches? Where's the purse going? Who's getting these winnings?
I just, saving it in case I want to try out the human life a little more,
Yeah, we could hold on to some of that money. DJ Dylan, get your Dylan coin brochure. We have this exciting cryptocurrency that DJ Dylan invented that we would just hold the money for a while.
I need to chime in here because we have gotten a little bit of trouble recently. We can't call it a cryptocurrency yet. It's not that secure. It's not that like concrete of a thing. But it's a lot like a cryptocurrency. It's like almost like you could almost imagine, really believing
it's an Excel spreadsheet. It's an Excel spreadsheet that DJ Dylan is really diligent about making sure he keeps up with the transactions and knows where every piece is. And
it's not name brand Excel, obviously. But it does
like
have
the
columns
open
and
source,
rows.
like freebie version. Yeah. And DJ Dylan coin's not for everyone, but if you know anyone who it is for, tell them to sign up and we'll write your name down on an Excel sheet and then you just give us some numbers and it's all good. DJ Dylan coin.
We've put numbers in the thing too.
That's how much I trust the system. My own numbers are in there.
Yeah. Like 4, 7, lots of them.
Speaking of, oh gosh, Dr. London, I really hate what time it is right now.
I could tell. I felt the same thing.
It is time to do the chore wheel. We have to do chores.
We got chores.
Let me explain what we're talking about. Dr. London and I have been neglecting everything on our to-do list for a while now, and so we invented this fun chore wheel, and we spin it every week, and whatever it lands on, that is the chore that we have to do. Mr. Gator, that huge old chore wheel that's sitting behind you, would you mind spinning that for us?
Sure.
Not this one.
This one. Of course, we had to land on this one.
Okay, the chore is design your dream car. The one from your dream the other night.
Oh, of course we have to do this.
Yeah.
So we've been given an unlimited budget by our insane mayor to invent a new car because he's just trying to get into the car industry. But his whole thing is like, you have to live your dreams. And he's extremely literal about that. So the only thing we can design are, cars that we've dreamt about in our dreams. We're always dreaming about cars. Everyone is. If you're a dude,
he said
you're dreaming about cars. You know what I mean?
He paid up so much for the tagline of "You have to live your dreams" that like everything has kind of been built around that.
It'd be liable
caption.
to build a car that wasn't based off of sort of like dream logic. So I mean, like I would say the first element would be, like my dead grandfather's there. I don't see him, but I can sense that he's in the car. That would be an element from my dreams typically that I would want to include in this sort of machine we're building. Yeah.
So would it be a hearse? Would it be in the back or?
No. It's just a normal ride. You just know that your grandfather's there. You're not looking around. You don't see him, but you just like know he's there.
Right. Okay. All right. And this, we should get, 3 different designs going. So don't feel limited here. Cause we want to bring a few options to them.
Yeah.
But,
what are you thinking with this one, Dr. London?
I'm kind of a big fan of carnivals. So whenever I dream, there's usually a Ferris wheel. And so I'm imagining a Ferris wheels for all the wheels of the car. And I guess we have to find people who are that small to be riding the Ferris wheel while I drive around.
Just to make your money back. Because you can sell tickets.
That's right. Yeah. The fuel efficiency, all that. And carpooling.
Yeah.
So,
and the Ferris wheel is both sort of one that you did go on as a kid, but also one that you saw in a movie, and it's like a little bit of both.
Yeah. So like one of the wheels would be like let's say the right rear tire would be the one where it was me and my crush, and I was about to like make a move romantically, and I threw up.
Yeah.
So that's that one. That's that memory that comes back in a recurring dream. And then, like, the one where I had cotton candy, and then I found out about my father dying. also on a Ferris wheel.
It's all carnival related stuff, including your father's death. It's all tied into it. So that's a pretty good car. Graham Gator, what are you thinking? We have an unlimited budget. We're making our dream cars.
But do bear in mind, I imagine your dreams, given your neighborhood and what your streets are like, I don't know. What are you thinking?
I swim everywhere, so I mean, a car wouldn't do me any good.
You've never dreamt of like just getting behind the steering wheel, though? You haven't seen humans just cruising in a convertible?
Maybe like a Aston Martin in water, you know?
Okay, you do have the dreams.
Aston Martin in water, but it's the Pope Mobile. It has the little bubble, just so you can sit around and like wave to like your constituents.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I think I like that.
Okay, easy. Yeah, we can kind of wrap things up. So, Mr. Gator, Graham Gator, thank you so much for being on today. Is there anyone you want to promote? Any friends of yours that you want to give a shout out to? Social media or anything?
The big mean Levi McGuire, a pro wrestler buddy of mine. And shout out to him.
Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. And I guess you also, I'm sure, want to say something like stay out of your neighborhood, all of those messages that you've been pretty vocal about. So I don't want to forget your causes either. All right. So thank you to Mr. Graham Gator. Thank you to our producer, Cameron. Thank you to Digital in the House.
So nothing but water and trees, but of course, you know, the human race study building homes and stuff on my neighborhood, so you know, taking over my space here, you know. Taking over my space here, you know. But of course, you know, the human race study building homes and stuff in my neighborhood, so you know. Taking over my space here, you know.